Hi everybody, this is Mike Mato Nupa. Thanks for joining me here on Alaskan Spirit Traveler. What is it about native stories that captures our minds and our interests, connecting us to the world around us, showing us that we are part of nature and nature is part of us? This is a story about how Raven returned water to the land. The Athabascan word for grandfather is Datsonsa. The Athabascan people would call to Datsonsa for help in times of need. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share this story with your friends and family. It's a great story. I hope you enjoy it. Let's go. The people gathered around fires in small groups to listen to the elders about how important each one of us is taking care of the land and the world around us. Cherish the waters and the animals, making sure that we never used more than we needed and used all that we took. The fire crackled and popped, listening intently to the elders relating these stories of the importance of caring for their land and the world around them. This is the story of how Raven returned water to the land. The people lived on the land and used everything that they needed from the animals, the land, and never took more than they needed. They cared for each other, they cared for the land, they cared for the animals, they cared for the water. They were blessed by everything that was given to them and all that they used. They shared these stories with each other throughout the day, each one caring for each other. Water was very important to the people. Water provided nourishment for the land and the world around them, quenched the people's thirst. They used it for cleaning and everything that they needed in life. But they had taken it for granted. Water is a very important thing in everybody's life. One day, the water began to disappear out of the rivers and the lakes, and the people began to panic and cried. They began to get sick. The land began to get dry. The land began to get sick. The animals began to disappear. The water had left all the lakes and the rivers. They cried to Datsonsa, Datsonsa, help us. We don't know what to do. The water is disappearing out of the rivers and the lakes. We are becoming sick. The land is becoming dry and sick. The animals are leaving. We don't know what to do. Datsonsa, help us, please. Please help us. The cries of the people were heard. Datsonsa listened to their agony and cries of woe, and he could see that the land was beginning to dry. He could see the people were becoming sick. The animals were leaving. The land was dying. He thought and thought and didn't know what to do. The people cried, Datsonsa! Help us, help us. He took to the wing and flew for days and days and days, never seeing any water in the rivers and lakes. And one day he saw a shiny thing off in the distance, which was the last drop of water that existed. He flew towards it and landed next to it, and was surprised when he found that next to the last drop of water was the largest frog he had ever seen in his life. The frog shot its tongue out and grabbed the last drop of water and swallowed it. He had been hoarding all the water on the land. Datsonsa cried out, "Brother, don't you see what you're doing? You're hoarding the water. You're killing the land. You're killing the people. You're killing our brothers and sisters." And the frog shouted, "I don't care. It's all mine. It all belongs to me." Datsonsa thought for a moment and wasn't sure what to do and pleaded with the frog once more. "Please, don't hoard the water. It's all mine. It all belongs to me." Then he saw a shiny stone and darted towards the shiny stone. And the frog shot his tongue out, grabbed the small stone, and swallowed it, creating agony and pain on his already overswollen belly that had been hoarding all of the water on the earth. He began to cry out, and the raven shouted to him once more, "You can't hoard the water on the land. It belongs to the land, the animals, and the people. You need to share the waters." Once again, he pleaded with the frog, "Don't you see? You cannot hoard the water." And the frog shouted, "I don't care. It's mine." But after he swallowed the small stone, he was already overswollen, and it created such agony and pain on his stomach. He began to cry out, "Please, help me, brother, help me. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts." And the raven said, "I will help you, but you have to promise not to hoard the water on the land again." The frog said, "No, it's mine." And the raven said, "Oh, I see." And the frog cried out in agony and pain once again, "It hurts, brother, it hurts. Can you help me? Can you help me?" And the Datsonsa said, "I will help you, but you can't hoard the water on the earth anymore." "No, it's mine. It's mine. Oh, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts." And Datsonsa came up with a plan. And he jiggled the stone in the belly of the frog, creating even more agony and pain. And the frog said, I promise I will not hoard the water on the earth anymore." And the raven jiggled the stone once again, creating even more agony and pain for the frog. And Datsonsa cried out to the frog, "I will help you. But once again, you need to promise never to hoard the water again." And the raven pecked a hole in the stomach of the frog, and the waters gushed out onto the land, filling the rivers, filling the lakes, The dry riverbeds became wet and moist, full of water. The lakes became wet and moist and full of water. Once again, rushing and flowing as they should across the land. The waters trickled in small streams. They flowed heavily in the lakes. The raven called out to the people, to the animals, "The water has returned. The water has returned." The people ran to the water and cleaned and drank. The animals joined them, shoulder to shoulder. They cleaned and they drank, rejoicing in return of the water. The raven drank as well and watched the people rejoice and the animals rejoice. The people thanked him. "Thank you, Datsonsa. Thank you for helping us. Thank you, thank you." And Datsonsa just stood there and enjoyed the happiness in the people's hearts and enjoyed the land rejoicing in the return of the water. And his brothers and sisters that once again could drink and play in the waters. To this day, you can still hear Datsonsa flying over the land, reminding the frog of his promise never to hoard the water again, as the raven cries, "Rock! Rock!" The raven continues to remind the frog of his promise, even to this day. The raven's mind and heart is on all of us. All we have to do is know that he's there and he cares. Don't be afraid to call out to Datsonsa. "Thank you, Datsonsa. Thank you for returning the water to the land." Thanks for joining me here on Alaskan Spirit Traveler. I hope you've enjoyed the story of how Raven returned water.